Good evening and welcome to Bent TV. Tonight we begin with Quedia. Steve talks to Bill Calder about his book, Pink Ink. Tonight we learn of the early beginnings of gay and lesbian publications in Australia. Then we continue with lip service, using a prior partner's name, playing with your breasts to increase them, and playing second fiddle to a lizard. And then we finish tonight with Staying Alive, where our panel discuss the younger generation up-and-comings making an impact now.
Good evening, welcome to Bent TV. My name is Steve Pereira and you're watching Quedia, where we explore all things art, culture, media. Tonight we've got a very interesting guest. Meet Bill Calder. Those of you might know him, he's one of the publishing icons in Melbourne. He was a previous editor of Brother Sister and more recently BNews. Bill's more recent claim to fame is he's the author of this brand new book on gay and lesbian publications. Welcome, Bill, to Bent TV.
Thank you, Steve.
This is a very exciting, aside from the cover, the picture of Queen Victoria with a pink nose.
It's a very colourful cover.
It is a very colourful cover. Do you want to tell us about it?
Yeah, it covers the period of when print media first appeared in Australia, gay print media, which didn't occur until pretty much 1970. So the book actually covers the beginnings of that media right through to early this century when print started to decline as the key media and increasingly, as I think we all are aware, the internet took over.
Now, in that first phase, is that what you call the liberationist phase?
Yeah, the very first publishers were what I would call liberationist. And what triggered the first publication, which was known as Camp Ink, was actually the Stonewall riots in New York, which got mainstream coverage in Australia. And two people, John Ware and Christabel Pole, were sitting around together drinking a bottle of whiskey, and they decided, we're going to do something here in Australia.
So what years were that when?
This was 1970. And
so right at Stonewall.
A year after. It was actually the coverage of the 12-month commemoratory marches in America that triggered them. So it took kind of a year to trigger action in Australia. But when it got triggered, a lot happened. They set up the organisation CAMP, which was Campaign Against Moral Persecution, obviously using the cute name of CAMP, and set up, even before they started the organisation, they put out an edition of Camp Ink, which was the first magazine, gay or lesbian magazine in Australia.
And how did they circulate it?
It was a membership publication, so people joined the organisation, and as part of a membership you got the magazine, which seems an odd way of publicising it, but the organisation did extremely well. It got up to 5,000 copies being printed, most of them being members. But John Ware also kind of refers to it as our voice to the outside world, and he was very keen on sending that magazine out to sympathetic journalists, to government people in the government and the medical profession.
So was there any entertainment involved with that? Was it largely socio-political magazine?
Yeah, well, look, I should perhaps define what liberationist is. Liberationist it's kind of it's a gay rights movement, if you like, but it's set particularly in the 70s, and it comes out of a thinking that the entire world needs to be reformed. In its extreme case, capitalism needs to be overthrown, and the patriarchy and monogamy and religion, all the institutions of the time were kind of under challenge. And so the gay liberationists were connected to sort of broader movements, a general sort of left movements, black rights movements, feminist movements.
Can I just ask, because with Stonewall itself, there was a real schism between what became the conservative gay movement and then the more radical gay movement, who wanted a more radical restructuring of society. Whereas the conservative just wanted more recognition for gay and lesbian rights.
Yeah.
And so you had the Fruits and Suits, who were opposed to the hippies and the... And the other more radical activists?
And they were certainly there in Australia
as well.
But they, and the book talks about it, they come out and start producing magazines as well.
So where did this magazine fit in that political spectrum? Was it?
This was very much, well, Camp Inc. was a liberationist magazine.
Very lefty.
Yes and no. It had a smorgasbord of political viewpoints, but it certainly attracted the left. We're in that organisation. John Ware himself was more a counterculturalist. He wasn't particularly part of any left program. So it was really an umbrella group for a lot of things, but it was certainly not your bar scene or your. I mean, they were against putting male nudes generally in their magazines, so they'd adopted the broad feminist perspective on pornography and nudity.
But this was still largely male-focused, though.
It endeavoured to be both male and female, but it was dominated by men, which in itself triggered the lesbian media that broke away from both the women's movements and the gay movements that had. I mean, originally both men and women tried to coexist in these organisations, but, you know, the early 70s was still a time of fairly overt sexism, but also very different viewpoints on sex between men and women. Men were much more interested in free expression of sexual desire.
So how long does the liberationist period last for, then, in your...
Look, really, it was short-lived in Australia. It was in decline by the mid-70s. The political climate in Australia had swung to the right. The sort of glorious dreams of new society that perhaps in Australia, to some extent, Whitlam, who was the Prime Minister in the early 70s, perhaps symbolised. That optimism and enthusiasm had sort of fallen apart by the mid-70s. The global economy had collapsed. The right was surging back, saying, "We told you so." And so a lot of those sort of left-wing dreams of a new society had gone.
Sorry, we're just running out of time. So if there's one way you'd characterise this period as a liberationist, what word will you use to characterise it? Political, politicised?
They wanted to transform, I think, transform both society...
So very much about social change?
Yeah, and individual change. So both social transformation and individual transformation.
Thank you so much for being with us this evening. We've been talking to Bill Calder, the author of this brand new exciting publication, Pink Ink, A History of Gay Publications in Australia, Melbourne specifically. Thank you for watching. You've been watching with Ben TV.
Think before you speak.
I just got it. The last time I told you, when you told your mother and your mother told me that you told her the secret, I told you not to tell me.
You're watching Ben TV, and this is Lip Service. We're here to help you with your problems. And my panel tonight, Kirsty.
Hello.
Anthony and Maz. Thanks, guys, for joining me. Our first problem comes from Steve. Steve has a new partner, and the new partner during sex keeps saying the name of the previous partner. What do we think? He's finding it a little bit disconcerting.
Steve's going to have to change his name to the name of the previous partner.
Oh, you get the forms from, you know...
It's easy.
Name change forms.
It's very easy.
Simple.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you just need to be a bit flexible. You're getting to know each other, you know. It's... what's the problem, really?
Well, I don't know. I'd be a bit upset, I think.
No.
What about changing your name?
No, that's fine.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't think it was that.
But until I changed it, I'd be upset if it was using the business.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Maybe he should yell out the same name and see what happens. That way they're both thinking of the ex-partner.
Maybe just invite the ex-partner to join them.
Yeah, I think, it's that flexibility, that element of flexibility, I think it
still
just...
obsessing about.
You can't be rigid in a new relationship, can you?
No.
Yeah. So just get your name changed using... Where are you? There you are. Just get your name changed legally, and then you'll have no problem at all. My next one. Now, this is from... Where are we? Oh, yes. This one is from Gordon. My boyfriend and I have a good relationship, but there are times when he dons a Darth Vader mask and refuses to answer anything other than Darth Kickass. What should Gordon do? Anthony, have you any experience of Darth Kickass?
Look, get it. I like a good role play.
Yeah.
You know, it sounds like this one's extending out into day-to-day life. It's just an extended role play. You know, that's fun. Get into it. He should play Luke Skywalker or something.
Yeah.
Then they can do.
Wouldn't that be incest?
Yeah, it'll turn into a father-son role play, won't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's when things can get really interesting.
Is that more
I've
weird?
heard. They get weird.
Yeah, I don't know if that's everyone's flavour, Anthony.
Get into some incest role play.
Yeah.
Which is
given
an
away a
option,
lot.
an option. Does he look good in the Darth Vader mask? That would be my question.
Well, Gordon doesn't really say. I guess he probably would.
Well, you know, you just kind of, again, that flexibility. I just get used to it.
But it's the Darth Kickass, isn't it? So he's changed his name.
Yeah.
From the original.
Well, I agree. It goes back to the flexibility again.
Yeah.
It's quite creative, like Darth Kickass. Like, there's no copyright issues.
No.
Are there? Like,
Good to go.
it's a whole new name, Darth Kickass.
It's original.
So
It is original.
We think it's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Anthony advises some incestuous role play.
Give it a go.
So give it a go. Yeah. See where you go. Give us a call, Gordon. Let us know how you go. Okay. Yes. Lola has been told by her girlfriend if she fondles her breasts, they'll get bigger.
Her own breasts?
Her own breasts.
Oh,
yes.
okay.
She's not convinced this is true. I don't know what do we think? Is it true? If you fondle your breasts, do they get bigger?
Not in my experience, no.
Despite trying.
Yeah,
Well, that's what I was about to say. Why doesn't Lola just try? Like, have a go at it, Lola. Measure them, have a go, see
if
what
it works.
happens. Measure again in 3 weeks. If it doesn't work, you can reassess.
Keep records.
Yeah, keep records.
Yeah,
definitely.
set a benchmark and just see if it's moving over time.
Yeah, that's record
if you have
keeping's the
fun.
key.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You found it works for you, Anthony?
Look, I'm not the sort of guy that tries to get me breasts to get bigger at all, but I know one thing that makes me breasts look larger is when I eat too much KFC. I notice they start to grow and they start to droop forward. And you have to go back to the gym.
And this bit grows as well so they can rest on it. Yeah.
No, I can't contribute anything there.
So we've got we just measure them and see how you go. It's we think it might actually be scientifically proven that it works.
Yeah, well, she'll find out anyway.
You'll find out.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Let's Lloyd. Lloyd is in love with his boyfriend, who also has a pet lizard. It doesn't tell me the name of the lizard. We'll call it Lizzie.
Yeah.
Lizzie the lizard. Apparently, Lloyd's boyfriend he thinks more in love with the lizard than he is with him. He talks about Lizzie obsessively, takes Lizzie everywhere with him. Do we think that's okay? Lloyd's feeling a little bit left out by Lizzie.
I think, again, it's that flexibility. I mean, really, Lizzie is only just filling a niche. I think Lizzie can't, make conversation over dinner, can't, do all those lovely things that boyfriends do for each other. Well,
maybe Lizzie's a good conversationalist.
So I think just make room for Lizzie, let it go.
It's okay to have the three of them in the relationship?
Yeah, I think so. What do you think?
Yeah, the thing that I'm hearing is that Lloyd has some insecurity issues, and I feel like Lloyd needs to work through those and coexist with Lizzie and just lighten up, Lloyd, I say.
Don't be jealous of a lizard.
Yeah.
No, that's ridiculous, Lloyd. Wake up to yourself.
Yeah, wake up to yourself. Yes, wake up to yourself. It's ridiculous.
Tough love here on Ben TV.
I've just got Corey Bernardi's voice in my head talking about this homosexuality leading to bestiality, and I think it's almost like we're almost there with this particular issue.
Is that not true? Is it not true? I thought
it was.
Was a really well-informed gentleman. Yeah. No? We don't think so.
No. No.
So we think there's room for Lizzie and Lloyd in this relationship. Okay, have we got time for one more? I think we have. Just checking to see if we've got time. Can you give me a time indicator? If we have, we'll go straight. Oh, this one. This person, Ricky, that's right. Ricky is having trouble maintaining an erection without thinking about celebrities. during sex with their partner. Is that okay?
Well, is he using the name out loud? Because then we're back to the previous issue, aren't we? Like...
He's concerned that he's having to fantasise about celebrities in order to get an erection.
But if he's using the name out loud, then that might be creating a problem with the partner, or is it just in his head he's worried about it?
Well, he's just worried he just can't get out. I think we're running out of time, so we need a quick response from you, Kirsty, on this one.
Yeah, okay. I don't think it's an issue.
Yeah,
I think that he's just vocalising what everybody does.
So we have to fantasise about other people when you're having sex.
Yeah, yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah, whatever gets you hard.
Yeah, whatever it takes. Whatever it takes. Okay. Such a non-issue. All right, I think we've run out of time. Thanks for watching Bent TV. You've been watching Lip Service. We'll be back again with some more problems next time. Bye for now.
Hello, I'm David, this is Leanne, and that's Gordon. And we're part of the panel called, well, we are the panel called Staying Alive. It's all about the ageing community and the issues that we have or subjects we want to talk about. Now, on the last show, we actually spoke about people within our community that we look up to and we admire, and organisations. The older generation. Let's talk about the up-and-comings and the ones who are making an impact right now. So the new generations of important people in our community. Leanne, do you want to start this time?
Sure. I think perhaps last time we struggled a little bit to, find people to say that we really looked up to who were out and proud and made a difference. I could probably name 10 people off the top of my head, younger people.
Isn't that awesome? Across
different areas, whether it's sport, politics, media, community groups or whatever, that are really showing the way and are really contributing to the discussion about the needs and rights of LGBTI people in Australia. So, off the top of my head, obviously politicians like Penny Wong, media people like Tom Ballard, Josh Thomas, people who are just being out there as good role models. Obviously the fantastic work that Minus 18's doing. I could go on, but I won't.
We'll just come back to that. You mentioned a couple of comedians there. Now, they really are, like, all of a sudden the comedy festival's on and there's a whole string of queer comedians these days, aren't they?
Yeah, that's right.
And they're really having some impact through the media in particular. And they're talking about being gay is their comedy routine. Which
because it can be funny.
It can be funny, and I love. Well, Joel Creasy blames his mother a lot for all the different things, which is hysterical. And look at he went off into the jungle with the likes of Barry Hall, and they've become friends now. And Barry Hall wouldn't have come across very many gay people in his life, but he's one of those big guys with a big heart. But you would think he would be anti-gay, but he's not. So it's opening up all those.
That's how
channels.
we break down barriers, isn't it?
Exactly, with us, and in comedy, which was always very, very quite straight in that respect, but the last 3 or 4 years, boy, has it exploded with the queer community.
Well, it used to be with comics that the gay thing was the tagline, which, dare I say, the butt of the joke.
We were the butt of the
joke. Exactly, boom, boom. All right, Gordon.
Rodney Croom.
Yep, Tassie advocate, been pushing for equal rights.
He's done so much work lately.
He has.
A really, really strong person to doing what he's doing.
Yep. Jason Ball.
Jason Ball, of course.
Right.
Yeah, well,
in that.
He's done
sport.
so much in football to show that people who are gay can play football.
Yep.
And of course,
but also the wonderful thing about that, Gordon, sorry to butt in there, is that he had the total support of his team.
That's right.
And that's what made it special.
Yeah.
And and the Rainbow Cup that they now do with his team and whoever they're playing that week, it's really quite amazing. And of course, he's now dabbling in politics as well.
That's right.
Which I think he's going to have a real. Have you seen him speak?
Oh, he's very eloquent.
He is absolutely
He's improved
brilliant.
a hell of a lot since he first came
Of course,
we have to
practice.
We all
look
do.
at us.
Yeah, look at us. Yes,
Hey.
we can all talk.
But also, what Jason's done is work very closely with with Beyond Blue and talk very much about impacts of discrimination and that sort of thing as well. So he's made it okay to talk about mental health.
Yep.
So by using physical health in terms of football and mental health about actually it's better to be comfortable about who you are and how families and other support groups. And I think that's what he's done, is reached out to our allies as well.
Yeah.
So.
And actually, talking about that, Beyond Blue is a good case where 5-6 years ago, remember there was no program about our community, and boy did they get it from the wider community saying, well, where is like, we know what the suicide rate is, and you haven't even brought it to the table.
Yeah. Well, their chair was.
Well, yeah.
A bit anti, or had said some things.
And from that came out wonderful movement now within Beyond Blue for our community, which is fantastic.
Talking about blue,
yes,
I'll go with Glow's Gabby Tayak.
Yeah, that's right.
What a wonderful person she is.
She has done so much.
Yep. And for those who don't know, she is a policewoman, and she actually is the person that heads now like our community's liaison with the police. Is that right?
The Gay Lesbian Liaison Officers. That's right.
Yes.
I think they're changing that name to LGBTI Liaison, but it doesn't. It's not an acronym.
More alphabet.
Well, I didn't want to say it because I thought, have they changed it? That's why I thought I'd say our community at this stage. Yeah. She's doing a wonderful job,
she is.
and and rallying people, and great on social media, and in every aspect of the game, she's doing it really well. Yeah. I'd also like to bring up another organisation, as in Globe, like this time round, which is the
Gay Lesbian
Organisation of Business and Enterprise.
Exactly. And like what they're doing now, because they've set up like their fundraising is incredible, because everyone thinks it's just that get together once a month where everyone gets together. They do that as a fundraiser to then support different organisations.
Yes, they give grants.
And they give grants.
And community awards.
And the Community Awards, which has become one of the biggest events on the calendar now, and it's this year will be the 3rd year, and and it sells out, and everyone wants to go. They're going to have to move to a bigger premises, I've heard on the grapevine. This will probably be the last year where it is, because it's now that popular, and they've got ideas now of where they want to go and what they want to do, and so it's so important that we do have an organisation like that.
That's right, and it's important to recognise the contribution of groups as well as individuals in that, and because a lot of people are working in silos, and although I'm sure they're very happy to do that, they're not necessarily getting the acknowledgement.
True.
And you burn out, I think, if you don't get that. So I think it's fantastic that we come together to celebrate.
Yeah, and that is the big issue. That there are some people who are relentless and will just like soldier on, and Gabby's lucky in the respect that being that's her role in the police force,
it's her job.
So therefore it's fine, it's her job. But when people are volunteering, you need a collective of people to get it across the line, don't you? Which is like so good. So out there we need people to really show us what to do and how to do it. You've been watching Staying Alive. I've got to thank Leanne, and that one up there, and there, Gordon as well. And I'm David. We'll see you again soon.